This is Judah Martinez right here, a student in which I'm doing a video project for college. The lady is the poetess name Emily Dickinson. And this is what I'll present in the presentation. So please don't forget to watch this video if you are interested. Thank you. This is a presentation of an autobiography report I've been doing on for college project to let you know who is a poetess writer named Emily Dickinson. This is the house where she moved in with her parents at 8 years old. And she moved in where her uncle and her other family members lived. But she went in to a school for girls, which was not uncommon, and what was also not an uncommon matter back in that time, when women who were not married usually stayed in their house. Most of them stayed in their house who were single back then. But this is the picture of where her school was at. Then she went to a college over a year. Now this picture is where the family house is where she grew up at. She'd grown up with them. She went to do things like going to church, doing tasks with them growing up. And basically, these other things happen. This is called a homestead, where she grew up at her house. And she is the middle child of her father, Edward Dickinson, a lawyer, a U.S. congressman, and treasurer of Amherst College. Now, the school she was at is the Amherst School for Girls, but this is where the college she grew up called the Mount Holyoke Female Seminary in 1847 for a year, only 1 year, but now it's called Mount Holyoke College. Though her family embraced Calvinism, she was not even believing as they did, even saying that of herself, of how she was consider herself an outsider, not even considered a believer of Christ, that her family was Christianity. So though she has creativity, later on becoming writing of her poets as starting from her teen years to adult years, that she was already a young adult when she wrote over stories of self-accepting her worth, of her own individuality she found, and situations where she not only wrote some things about how her emotions and knowledge, but also some fairy tales. But you know this, she has wrote not just one, not just 5 or 10, but over 100, as she had 800 poems and 40 small booklets or fascicles, which are her booklets, as referring to text manuscripts as showing. But this was after her passing. If you look at the Houghton Library online, which actually is the library also, this is the picture of her room, showing that it holds over 1,000 poems and 300 letters in her handwriting. A collection of over 400 pressed plant specimen labeled with Latin names is also held at the Houghton Library. Now this is where you can see archives and special collections, acdc.amherst.edu. Now click on there and you can find on there that you can see all the stuff, that you can see also Poetry Foundation, all this stuff. Now I did a report on this, and this is why I learned that she has been creative, and she even trusted somebody named Mabel Lewis Todd, a lover of Austin Dickinson, Emily's brother, and her collaborator Thomas Wentworth Higginson, as they went through Emily's Dickinson's writings, remove her personal markings as trying to make it more standard by making it rhyme, and taking out her trademark dashes and random capitalizations, and also try replacing them with either commas or periods. So because this has happened as they were torn apart, she scolded them for having the pages torn apart, as it was taken away from what her idea and point of creative writing, as this was shown that I did not even realize some things, that her pages were considered to be torn apart. So basically, one of the editors in the mid 20th century helped to fix the pages. Ralph W. Franklin and Ralph Waldo Emerson restored her poems back to the original transcripts, as this was also considered a copyright. That's why there's policy based on stories. So if you go look at the Emily Dickinson Museum, the Dickinson Electronic Archives, so if you look at all these other websites and Poetry Foundation, it will bring you support of knowing who she is and where poetry has been also inspired, including love. Thank you and goodbye.